this is Philippe Back from iOctane, and today I'm going to talk about the iron triangle. What? The iron triangle? What is this iron triangle? Well, when you do a software project, you have one axis which is the scope you are trying to cover. There's another axis which is the quality of the work you try to achieve. Another one is the time it will take. Well, some people like to write here resources, but we'll stick with time. So, in fact, when you do a project, you have to choose on scope, on time, and on quality. And in a given project, you have to select one side of this triangle as your reference point. Why is it so? Because if you try to achieve a given scope for high quality and a given time, there are quite some chances that you will not make it. Well, obviously there is a minimum scope and a minimum time, a minimum quality, which is the bare minimum. And if your team is not able to achieve this bare minimum, let's say triangle, you should exit this business. So let's say you're in there. And if you choose scope and quality, meaning we'll do everything we have in mind and we want to do everything well, we are on this side of the iron triangle. It means that you are going to trade time, and so here time will move in this direction most of the time. Then it makes sense for some projects where you cannot go beyond a given scope and you have to deliver good quality. Think about life support systems, think about systems that have to do with energy control, high power and so on. You don't want to have bad quality and you have to deliver everything. You do a fighter plane, you do a good quality, you have to match the scope, and it takes usually a long time. You are not going to try the plane without a decent enough quality. Then you have another option which is saying, okay, we're choosing the scope to achieve a scope, and we are also going to deliver at a given time. Meaning quality will suffer usually. So here you may have this as a very valid strategy in two cases. If you are a first mover, you can gain first mover advantage by delivering a given feature which is quite innovative very early. Okay, quality may be bad, but you could work around that by issuing patches, version 2s and so on. Like for example, if you issue version 1.0, which is so-so, by the time people realize they could enter this market, you have already, let's say, taken the advantage because you have learned everything about version 1, and then when you do version 2, you're already ahead. So they will try to catch you, but you will always be one, let's say, you will be always one version in advance, so don't get caught there. Also, another case where this is very useful is if you are selling games. Well, you do the full game and you give it on time, like on Christmas period, holidays period, and you cannot miss it because Christmas will not wait for you. So here you can issue a lower quality game, but patch it as you go with updates and so on until you reach a decent enough quality. Okay, then another thing is you can select quality and time. So you are forced to issue something at a given date because, for example, on the market a mandatory regulation comes into force that you better have to be ready. Let's say you do banking systems and you better have good quality. So you select this edge here. But then, of course, you may need to descope until a given point. So this is also linked to risks in a sense. So for a given project, you will select one side. One thing to not do is, during a given project, always jump from side to side like crazy and not being clear on what you want, because it will drive everybody crazy, the stakeholders, the people doing things, the users, and so on. So select one element and stay stuck with it. Also, what does this to do with risk? You have multiple types of risk in software systems. You have the people risk, you have the scope risk, you have the technical risk. They are the three which are really linked to delivering the solution, and then you have the additional financial risk. If you are burning money at a crazy rate, if you are a startup, you may have really problems. This may not be so critical for big companies, but for smaller companies this is really a key risk to watch. So, a link to this, we have the people risk, we have the scope risk, we have the technical risk. As the saying goes, if you take all three, you are going to have 90% of the probability of failure would be 90%. So quite high. If you take only one, let's say, okay, we are going to do something in a well-known domain we master, with technology we master, and we do it with a new team, then it would be quite okay to do so. Or you have a team of people who are very well working together, you have a set scope and you are doing things with a new technology, it's also fine. If you do master scope and let's say people who know each other, yeah, technology, no issue, but I said that already. Anyway, if you take one risk in isolation, and it will be fine. If you take two, quite a fair chance of failure. You have three, bad luck. And if you try to do with new people something that's never been done by you with a new technology, and if you are short on money, well, the chances of success are quite slim, and that's why maybe 9 startups out of 10 just fail. Okay, so remember the iron triangle: scope, time, and quality. You need to select one edge in your project. As the saying goes, good, fast, cheap, pick two. So this was Philippe Beck, and thank you for watching.